Hi, I'm Fiona Hale. I'm the Managing Director of CoolCare. So I'm going to give you a really quick overview today of who we are, what our product does, just so you can get a bit of a flavour of what CoolCare could offer for you and your care home business. So CoolCare are care home management software specialists. We have been making care home management software now for about 2 decades. We're probably one of the first people out there selling software to this sector. And that really comes from the experience that we have of operating and building care homes within the group of companies that we're a part of. We started off as operators, and then we saw the need that care homes had to run efficiently, to save time, and we wanted to do that in our own homes. So we created a piece of software, which was the origins of CoolCare, and over the years we grew that. We saw that other operators could make the most of similar types of cost and time savings, and we developed a product that could be sold commercially. Over the years, that progressed to our latest version, CoolCare 4, which was launched back in June 2018. And it's fair to say that we are specialists in what we do. We only make residential care home software focusing on the administrative side of running a care home. All of our features are designed to be intuitive and user-friendly to make it extra easy for it to be implemented and adopted in the care homes that use it. And we take our knowledge of knowing what a care home environment is like, how those processes should be run, to work with our team to really pull together an easy-to-use design that anyone can just pick up and fits with the natural flow in a care home. So our features include occupancy management, through to invoicing, so taking that initial inquiry, bringing that resident into the home, and then looking after their finances from there on in. It also focuses on the staffing side, looking at your time attendance, how many hours are you building up in the home, what are you paying your staff, and also around rostering, making sure that you're filling your home effectively, and all of your HR records and kind of key compliance points around training, supervision and appraisals, DBS checks, etc., and all the bits in between. And we also offer virtual notice boards. So as you can see, this is very much focused around the business administration of your home. And the purpose of our software is to help you to maximize your profits. So that's keeping an eye on those costs, making sure that they stay in hand, reducing any unnecessary spend and saving you time, because quite honestly, we all know time is money. And also looking at boosting your revenues, so helping you keep your occupancy nice and full with the type of residents you want for your business, and also making sure that any revenue that you need to capture from your residents is done so really simply and accurately, so you can have confidence each month that the money that you're owed is coming in. We don't do care planning, and we made that decision because we are experts in what we do, and there are some great experts out there that have fantastic care planning software. So we work with a range of partners who offer that element of care home software. So the likes of Person-Centered Software, Nourish, Medicare, and others. And that gives you the flexibility to choose the administrative software that works for your business, and the care planning software that works for how you run your care home operations. And so on this slide, I'm just showing a few of the different partners that we work alongside, and also the accounting and payroll packages that you can export into from our software, which is Sage and Xero. So just to give you a little bit of information about how our product is developed and how it continues to develop over time. So every couple of weeks we release updates to our software. We've got an in-house development team who are constantly working on new features, enhancements, improved ways of working to ensure that we're keeping up with our customers' needs, and also we're working to the needs of the market. We can be really agile, we can see things changing, and we can plan the development accordingly. Our software is really easy to access as well. We know that you're not always going to be sitting at the same PC, and certainly COVID has proved that. So to get onto our software, all you need to do is have a device with internet access, have the website coolcare4.com and have your user credentials, your username and password. As long as you've got that, you can get onto CoolCare4 wherever you are in the world. Even if you are on a beach somewhere, probably not likely in the short term, but maybe next year, you can go in and you can check your care home data through our software. We've built the software with data protection in mind. So that's built into the way that we've designed it, giving you lots of control over the permissions about who can access what data and the way that we structured the software. We host our software on a private cloud, so that's looked after by us, and we have full backups and security measures in place across the software, and our teams internally, we place a lot of importance in data protection. And in terms of service, well, I'm going to underline the service bit because we are what's considered a software as a service provider. And the service element is super important to that because the software is great. The software can do loads to transform your business, but only if it's used really well. So the first thing that we do in that is obviously we make the software as easy to use as physically possible. But then there is consideration that needs to go into how are you going to use it? How is it going to work in your care home? How do you want everybody to input that data and what system config is going to work for your setup? So we've got an in-house training team who can come out and train your home. We've got loads and loads of video guides on there. But really importantly, we've got a fantastic team of customer support engineers and customer success managers who are there to make sure that our customers are getting the most out of the software at all times. We take a lot of pride in that. Our customer surveys show that it's something that our customers really appreciate. They love our support team. And if you want to go and check that out and see if I'm telling you the truth, we publish all of our reviews on reviews.co.uk. So if you just go onto that website and type in CoolCare, you'll see what our customers have to say about our support services. And last point on this slide, just worth touching on, is that as you'll see when I show you the software, it's all built around changing the way that you operate, making it really easy, reducing the number of clicks that you have to do, bringing up in front of you the next step. You know, there's something that you need to be focusing on. Well, let's not hide that in an exception report that you have to go off and run. Let's pop that on your dashboard widget. So when you first log onto the system, you can see exactly that there's something that needs your attention. And that way you should be always working with accurate and live data. You should have a really simple process that you can just follow through and keep on top of, rather than having to go and run lots and lots of reports and do lots of analysis to work out whether or not you've completed everything that you need to. Analysis should be about looking at how your business is performing, how you are doing, and a quick check that everything's as you expect, not a way of changing behavior. And that's how we've designed our software, is to make sure that the users get it right first time. Okay, right, I'm going to switch over screens now. I'm going to take you into a short live demo of the system, just to give you a bit of an idea of actually how it looks and feels. So bear with me a moment. That screen. Great, so I'm hoping now that you can see in front of you the CoolCare 4 login screen. So all I need to do when I log in is go to the website. I've not had to install anything for this. I pop in my username and my password and I log straight in. And as I log in, the first thing that I see on my dashboard is my widgets. So there are a range of widgets on the system that you can choose from, and each user can have a different set of widgets that are appropriate to their job. And the idea of this, these are the things that you're probably likely to be looking at every day. I've got quite a few of them on here, not all of them, to give you a bit of a selection of the type of data that you can see on your dashboard when you first log on. But before I go through those different widgets, what I'm just going to show you is actually how the software scales. So I'm working on a desktop at the moment, as you can probably tell. But if I were to log on my phone, you'll see that depending on what size of device, it just responds down to the right size for the device that you're using. So that means that I don't have to install different things. I don't have to work out different ways of working. Regardless of what type of device I'm using, I just go to CoolCare4.com and all of the menus have just kind of truncated up at the side and it's nice and easy to use. So that's just a small point. You can look at this at different levels as well. So at the moment I'm on Alexander Court, which is the care home that I tend to go in and have a little look at. But if I've got a group with multiple care homes in there, I can look at this data at a group level or in company level as well. But I'm going to stick on Alexander Court. There's loads of controls in here that I won't go through today, but this is how you configure your system. And there's lots of permissions that you can manage, setting up user groups. So for example, you might have a user group for your managers, and in that you can define what they can edit, what they can see. And then when you add on a user, all you need to do is pop them in that user group, and then they've been auto-populated with that permission, so you can have confidence that they can only see the data that you want them to see. So let me just crack on into a really brief demo of the system itself. So this is the dashboard, as I've mentioned. I've got a little selection here. So without going through all of them, I'll just give you an idea of the type of data, and this will probably give you an idea of the data and the functionality that you'll get on CoolCare 4. The first thing I've got on here, this is the app that I love, is my staff on shift widget. This shows me who is in the building right now, and that's linking up to our clocking in machine. So you've got a full-time sheet elsewhere, but this is just a really quick snapshot of who is in the building right now, what's their position, what time did they come in, and importantly, did I expect them in the building or not? Were they someone that I had rostered on today? And you can see that with this green tick down the side here, and the red cross suggests, actually, no, this is not somebody I was expecting in the home today. And at the bottom of the list, I can see any staff that I've been expecting in, but haven't yet turned up for their shift, despite the time of their shift start having passed. And so I know probably need to give them a call. But overall, I think I'm doing okay today. I've got 11 members of staff clocked in and I expected 11. So my staffing levels are probably about right. On the theme of hours and comparisons, I've got two other widgets here that I draw your attention to. One is a quick snapshot looking at the last full day of data that you have, looking at your hours budgets by department. Am I working to my budgets? Very quick and easy. Variation in there, ordered by the biggest variation to the least, so that you can see that whether or not you're working compliantly in your home within your expectations, the number of hours. And then another one here that just looks on your number of worked hours to date to see whether that's in line with your usual performance, just so you can see there's suddenly any sudden outliers this month. And for me, that's looking like a pretty high month to date compared to last month. I'm about double the number of worked hours. So I might want to delve into that and find out why. The other chart that I'll just mention quickly is the occupancy management chart. So you can see in here my live occupancy split by funding type, the number of inquiries I've got on there, how many people on my waiting list, so I can know whether I'm going to fill those 3 vacancies anytime soon, and my average fees. So if I'm working to KPIs around that, I've got a quick snapshot live as of this moment, and I can see how I'm doing. And if I was looking at that at group or company level, I would see that as a collective for the whole group, and then I could click on a little tab which would then just break that down by care home for me, so I could delve a little bit deeper. Whizzing through the rest of the dashboard, there's just a range on here. I've got my training compliance widget where I can look either by staff member or by qualification how I'm doing on my training courses. So this is looking at the mandatory courses that you've set per position. And I can see here that I've got 25 courses in total that are incomplete that should have been taken by now. But I'm doing okay because I've actually got those all booked in. So I've probably got confidence that yes, they're incomplete, but they're in hand. I've got those training sessions in the calendar. and ditto with those courses that are expiring soon. I've also got my supervision and appraisal widget to see whether I'm up to date with my latest staff performance management, planned admissions, so I can see who I was expecting to come in the home today, or yesterday. Dermot, it looks like, was due to come into the home yesterday but hasn't turned up yet, so that's something for me to delve into. Why hasn't Dermot moved in, or has he moved in and has he not been put on the system? And Bill Bryson, famous author, will be moving in with me today. Brilliant, that's good to know. So as you can see, there's a range of different compliance widgets on there. Now, just to give you a very, very quick whistle-stop tour through the rest of the system so you can see the different features. All the different features are down the left-hand side and they're grouped by category. So first of all, in care home, you've got your general setup at care home level. This is where you'll find your occupancy management. And in here, you'll get your overview of the occupancy itself, your live occupancy data, your live inquiry data. You can manage your to-do list, add in an inquiry, or have a little jump on and look at an inquiry itself and manage that through. You've then got your staffing section, and in here you'll find your staff records, and this includes all your information about the staff member themselves. In fact, I'm going to go into a slightly better record. It's got a bit more information on there, which is Billy Banter. Here's Billy. We've got all of his general information on there. I can very quickly and easily add that in. It's time and attendance, his HR details, training, and I can add any documents that relate to Billy's employment with us as well. But whilst I'm on Billy, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly change my screen, and I'm going to share with you what Billy would see if he logged on. So Billy is just a member of staff. He's not a CoolCare user, but Billy is able to log into the staff portal. Oh, if I can remember my login details, here we go. There we go, excellent. And the first thing that Billy sees when he logs in is, well, the fact that he's currently clocked into the building, so Billy is working tonight. I can also see in there, if I was Billy, my shifts. I can see what I'm next due to work. I can see what I've worked previously and therefore what's gone on to my payroll for the month. So for example, Billy's worked 12 hours as a senior carer on the 2nd of November. And he's also done some training this week. And he can go further back and look at what training he's had in previous weeks as well and months. The other thing that Billy can do is book a holiday through the system, and that'll send an alert on the dashboard widget through to whoever is looking after your holidays. And you can also have a look at any available shifts and offer to cover them. You can also respond to any requests that he's received from the home in here. So if he's looking to pick up a few extra shifts, he can go on there and he can request that, just like that. And that'll then go onto the rota to let whoever's managing that in the main care home know that Billy is available for those shifts. Let me go back now to CoolCare for itself. So I'll quickly just show you the timesheet. So let me go back to a good week on the timesheet, which is June 2019. Here we go. And so our timesheet is aimed to help as quickly as possible give you really good control over your data. So everything automatically goes on there. You set the rules by which you would like your shifts to snap. So if there's any automatic deductions you want to make, that will automatically apply to this. And it will have a look at the standard shifts that these members of staff can work and look at what time they've clocked in and then adjust it to those times accordingly, so that you've got a really nice, simple timesheet and it's not got the odd extra 15 minutes here or there because someone's come in for a cup of tea and they've logged in a little bit early. Yeah, that's great. You'll see that they're in the building, but it'll snap them to the time that their shift actually started. You can easily go in and edit these details. And this is a really key point for our software. This is the place where our customers make the biggest and most obvious savings. When we've looked at our data over the past year, we can see that on average per shift, operators using this functionality are making savings potentially of around £4.69 per shift that has snapped. So as you can imagine, over a period, that actually builds up into quite a significant number. Let's have a quick look at residents just to finish off. So let's find Sean Bell. So here's Sean's record. Again, all very quick and simple and easy to use. Split out by different sections, so you can find information about his admission and discharge. You can look at his billing information, add as many contacts as you like, and much like with the staff members, as many documents as you like as well. Now, what I'll very quickly show you just to finish off with is just some of the benefits around billing. So in here, I will find all the information that relates to Sean's billing contracts. But actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into initial setup just to show you the ease of setting this up. So let's go into Leeds City Council. So when I'm setting up my billing contract terms, this is basically where I set up the rules for how I want to invoice. So for any local authority that I'm working with, CCG, or perhaps my private contracts, I just set up one of these billing contracts. And basically any fee contract that I then associate with those terms will just apply these rules automatically. So you don't need to worry, for example, about how many days do I need to bill on death, because it will look at this and it will do that automatically for you, and ditto with not being able to meet needs. And over on the right hand side here, it will allow you to do automatic deductions for absence. So when Sean is out of the home for say 2 weeks because he's had unfortunately a bit of a fall and he's having to stay in hospital, well, it will look at what fee reductions need to be put in place for that time, and it will apply those automatically to his relevant invoice period. And you can add more than these. So, you know, after 7 days, it's a 5% reduction, but you might say if the resident is absent for 14 days, I'd like 10% reduction added, depending on what your contract terms say with your local authority. So basically what you have here are some really easy rules that mean that you don't have to keep calculating this and applying it to all your different invoices. It just does it for you. And in the resident section itself, I'm sorry to jump around, I'm just going to go back into Sean. I've then got full flexibility around how I want to set up his fee contracts. The first thing I do is I pop in my weekly fee, and then I add in as many fee contracts as I like for Sean to make up that fee. Now you'll have noticed at the top here that I've got a warning, and as I mentioned earlier, we like to bring to your attention anything that you really need to have a look at. And in this instance, it's the fact that the weekly fee I'm expecting of £650 is not the same as what I have put in here for my weekly fee contributions, which looks to be significantly less than that. And so in these fee contracts, once I've set it up and I've put the number of the pattern I want it to invoice in the number of days and when I want the next invoice to be processed, when I then go into my invoicing section, it will just run those invoices when I say I'm happy to go ahead and process them based on the information that I have in here. I can make overrides to the invoicing details. I can do ad hoc adjustments. So if in 1 month I just want to change something, but I don't want that to be permanent, I can pop that in there. But really importantly, what I can do is I can do something called Backdated Fee Change, and it will automatically calculate that for me. And all I need to do is put in what the fee should have been, when it should have come in place. So let's pop that back to the 1st of January. It's warning me there that this might have an impact. And I'm going to change this fee contract, whoops, not quite that much, to £250 per week. So obviously it's quite a number of months ago because we're now in November. So let's see what that does. So if I go back into my contribution changes, you can see here on the 6th of November that I created a change. And you can see that has led to an invoice adjustment, because since the 1st of January, I've been invoicing Sean at a lesser amount. And so it has put in there that there's been an undercharge, and to the next invoice that I run for Sean, it will add on an extra £860. And so I don't have to worry about doing that maths, it's done it for me. And when I go into my invoicing, I will see all the different adjustments like that that have been made, and it'll pop little warnings on, so I can go in and have a look at them before I run my invoicing. And once I'm ready to run my invoices, I just select them all, mark them for export, and then upload the file into my accounting package, which in this instance, I think I've got this set up as Sage. And it's just a direct upload in. Job done. And the final point that I will just make before leaving you to the rest of your day is that throughout the system, there are lots of lovely, nice little things that will make your life a bit easier. They might not be significant, they might not seem significant, but they do make a big difference to quality of life and speed of admin. So those are things like the auto capitalization of names. This is throughout the system. Wherever you've got a name, I'll try and show you it now. It's quite hard to demonstrate, but it will not let me put in a lowercase. And if I try and put in a muck name, let me do that again. I'm putting a lowercase d in, it recognizes and it auto capitalizes that for me. And that means that when you come to run your invoices, do a mail merge, you've got a really nice set of data. And the other point around that is wherever I've got an address to put in, it's just a postcode lookup. You don't have to worry about having ill-spelled addresses, slight mistakes, so it goes to the wrong place. All your staff need to do is put in the postcode and select the correct address that Google has thrown back up. And you'll then have a beautiful set of data for sending out your invoicing and your mail mergers. So I'm going to leave it there for today, but that is a really, really quick snapshot of our software. There is so much I could show you. Normally it takes us about an hour to an hour and a half, and depending on how excited everyone gets by the software, sometimes 2 hours to show the full demo. But I would really encourage you, if you're interested, our demos are obligation free. Come and take a look, be nosy, see what we might be able to do for you. We'd love showing it off. We're very proud of our software. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's demo. Please do get in touch if you'd like to see a little bit more information. Thank you.